Have you ever dreamt of a perfect world? Have you ever closed your eyes and imagined a place where pain doesn't exist? Where no child is hungry, no tear falls in sorrow, and no goodbye is ever final? A world untouched by cancer, war, betrayal, or death. A place where the air feels lighter, where love is pure, and where peace doesn't vanish when the morning news begins. The Bible speaks of such a place, not as a poetic idea but as a coming reality. It's called the new heaven and the new earth. But what will it look like? Will it be a copy of Eden, or something beyond anything humanity has ever seen? Will we recognize each other there? Will we still build, create, love, and explore? Or will it be something altogether otherworldly, a holy mystery finally made visible? In today's journey, we won't just talk about a distant hope. We'll walk through the gates of New Jerusalem together. We'll stand in the place where God wipes away every tear. And maybe, just maybe, you'll feel that pull of eternity stirring inside you. Before we begin, I invite you to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who's longing for hope. Because the future isn't fiction, and heaven isn't a dream. It's a promise, waiting for those who dare to believe. Let's step into that promise together. The end is not the end, God's blueprint for a new beginning. When we think of the end times, our minds often race toward chaos, wars, plagues, judgment, fire. But for those who follow God, the story doesn't end in ashes. It begins again. Because the final chapter of the Bible is not about destruction, but restoration. Revelation 21 opens with these astonishing words. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. Pause there. That's not symbolic poetry. That's God tearing down what is broken and unveiling a reality unmarred by sin, death, or decay. This isn't just an escape from earth, it's the redemption of it. The Greek word for new here isn't neos, brand new from scratch, but kainos, meaning renewed, restored, transformed. God is not throwing away his creation. He is redeeming it. Imagine a world where lions and lambs lie together without fear, where oceans no longer swallow cities, where skies don't weep over war, where every street echoes with laughter, not gunfire, where justice flows like rivers and love is the law written in every heart. And at the center of it all, God himself. John tells us, "Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man." This is the heart of it all. God comes down to dwell with his people, not the other way around. Not us ascending into some abstract spiritual plane, but heaven descending into earth just like it did in Eden, but this time never to be lost. Let that sink in. The same God who walked with Adam in the cool of the day will walk with us again. No more temples, no more veils, no more distance, just God with us. But maybe you're thinking, that sounds beautiful, but it also sounds far off. That's why this message matters now. Because how you view your future shapes how you live your present. If you believe everything ends in chaos, you'll live in fear. But if you believe that God's plan ends in renewal, you'll live with hope. So before we continue, let me ask you, do you long for that kind of world? Are you tired of the brokenness we all pretend is normal? If this part of the story stirs something in you, I invite you again. Comment below with one word, restore, if your heart longs for a better world. Then make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs that same hope today. Because the new heaven and new earth, they're not fantasy. They're a future promised by the one who always keeps his word. The New Jerusalem, a city built by God's own hands. Close your eyes for a moment and try to imagine a city that was not built by human hands. No corruption, no decay. No war-torn history beneath its stones. A city where the architect is God himself. That's the New Jerusalem. Revelation 21 verses 10 to 11 says, And he carried me away in the spirit to a mountain great and high, and showed me the holy city Jerusalem coming down out of heaven from God. It shone with the glory of God. Think about that. This city doesn't rise up from earth, it descends from heaven. This isn't just humanity reaching up to God like the Tower of Babel once tried. This is God coming down to dwell with man. Again, permanently. And it's not just a city, it's a bride prepared for her groom. Pure, radiant, adorned in glory. Now let's look at the blueprint God gives us. Walls made of jasper. Foundations decorated with every kind of precious stone, sapphire, emerald, amethyst. Gates made of single pearls. Streets paved with gold so pure it's transparent. But beyond the beauty, there's something far more profound. There is no temple in the city. Why? Because God and the Lamb are its temple. No need for sun or moon. Because the glory of God gives it light, and Jesus is its lamp. This is a city where no more sirens echo in the night. No more children go missing. No more shadows of violence stain the streets. And no more need for locked doors or keys because fear is gone. This is what God has always wanted, not just to rescue people from the earth, but to create a home where He could live with them forever. Can you feel it? The ache in your soul that longs for a place like that? That's not fantasy, that's eternity written in your heart. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11 says it clearly. He has set eternity in the human heart. That ache you feel? It's a memory of what we were made for and a hunger for what's coming. And so I ask you again, if you long for a home where tears are wiped away forever, drop a home in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this message, because there's someone out there who needs to know. This world is not all there is. There is a city coming, and your name can be written in its gates. No more death. How the new earth ends the curse. Can you imagine a world where death is no more? Not just postponed, not just delayed by medicine or technology, but completely defeated. Not a shadow, not a whisper, not even a memory of mourning. Revelation 21 verse 4 says it plainly. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. Let those words sink in. The old order of things has passed away. Since the Garden of Eden, death has reigned like a tyrant. It stole Abel in the field. It haunted the footsteps of every prophet, priest, and king. It reached into homes, disrupted dreams, and scattered families. And the worst part? We accepted it as normal. But God never called it good. Death was never part of His original design. It was the bitter fruit of rebellion, an intruder, not a creation. But in the new heaven and the new earth, the curse will be reversed. No more aging. No cancer. No tragic phone calls. No grief-stricken nights. No children burying parents. No parents burying children. Isaiah 25 verse 8 gives us the promise in advance. He will swallow up death forever. The sovereign Lord will wipe away the tears from all faces. Did you catch that? God Himself, not an angel, not a saint, God Himself will wipe away your tears. He doesn't just end death, He touches your grief with His own hands, because your sorrow matters to Him. And this isn't just poetry. It's prophetic reality. The resurrection of Jesus was the down payment. The empty tomb was the receipt. And the new earth is the fulfillment. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 54 says, Death has been swallowed up in victory. This new creation won't just be a clean slate. It will be a healed world. A world where every wound has a scar of glory, not pain. But let me ask you this. What would your life look like if you really believed death had no final say? Would you still live in fear? Would you still carry the weight of hopelessness? If this part of the story stirs something in your heart, I want you to comment, victory below. It's more than just a word, it's a declaration of faith. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. Someone you know might be one breath away from giving up. But this message could be the breath of hope they need. God with us, the eternal presence that changes everything. Throughout all of Scripture there's been a tension. God is holy, unreachable. Man is sinful, unworthy. And in between, a veil, a chasm, a distance filled with sacrifices, priests, rituals, and fear. In the Garden of Eden, God walked with man. But after sin entered, we were driven out. From that day on, the cry of humanity has been simple and desperate. God, where are you? We tried to find him in tents, in temples, in thunder and fire. We saw glimpses through prophets, caught shadows of his glory, but the full presence of God remained somewhere beyond, until the final chapter. Revelation 21 verse 3 doesn't just drop a promise. It delivers a declaration. Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. Did you catch that? Not God above, not God beyond, God with forever. This isn't about spiritual tingles or rare visitations. This is God pitching his tent in your neighborhood. It's the restoration of Eden, but even better. No more priests needed. No more sacrifices. No more praying through the veil. No more trying to feel close to a God who seems far. The very thing humanity lost in Genesis is the very thing God restores in Revelation. His presence won't just visit us. It will dwell among us permanently, intimately, unbroken. Can you imagine walking in a garden again and hearing his voice, not in judgment but in joy? No more spiritual drought. No more silent seasons. No more wrestling with distance. Only oneness. It's the fulfillment of the deepest ache in the human soul. To be seen. To be known. To be with the one who made us. And friend, if that sounds too good to be true, it's because we've gotten used to absence. But we were made for presence. And this presence doesn't just change the scenery, it changes us. Forever. Pause with me now and imagine. No fear. No guilt. No striving. Just God. And you. And forever. If that fills your heart with longing, I want you to type "dwell" in the comments. Let the world know you're longing for that day. And if this part of the story blessed you, help us spread the hope. Like this video, subscribe for more, and share this with someone who needs to know. God's not trying to get away from us. He's been preparing a place to be with us. The New Jerusalem, a city unlike any earth has ever seen. Can a city heal the wounds of the world? Not just house its people, but restore them? That's the mystery, no, the majesty of the New Jerusalem. It's not just a new capital, it's the fulfillment of every promise, every longing, every ache humanity has carried since Eden. Revelation 21 describes it like this. I saw the holy city, the New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. A city descending from heaven. Not man's achievement, but God's gift. Not built from politics or power, but shaped by eternity and grace. But this isn't just about beauty, it's about purpose. The city of completion. The New Jerusalem is massive. Its size, 1,400 miles wide, long and high, is more than just symbolic. It speaks of limitless inclusion. There's room for every tribe, every tongue, every nation. Its walls clear as crystal. Its gates never shut. Its foundations, named after the apostles, meaning this new world is built on the truth of the gospel. And at the very center, not a temple, because the Lord himself is the temple. The city does not need the sun or the moon to shine on it, For the glory of God gives it light, and the Lamb is its lamp. Revelation 21 verse 23. This means there's no more darkness. Not just physical, but emotional, spiritual, political, cultural. Gone are the shadows of corruption. Gone is the fear of violence. Gone is the sense that something is always missing. The city of healing. In Revelation 22 we're told, "The river of the water of life flows from the throne of God and of the Lamb down the middle of the great street of the city. On each side of the river stood the tree of life, and the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nations." Did you catch that? Healing. Not just for individuals, but for entire nations. Imagine the conflicts of centuries resolved. The trauma of cultures erased by peace. The divisions we called permanent, made whole by leaves from a tree we once lost in Eden. This is not utopia built by man. This is redemption authored by God. The city of belonging. You won't just visit the New Jerusalem like a tourist. You'll belong there. There will be no locks because there's no fear. There will be no night because there's no threat. There will be no tears because there's no loss. It's the eternal reunion. The homecoming we've all been searching for. And the best part? Nothing impure will ever enter it, but only those whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life. Revelation 21 verse 27. Is your name there? Because this city isn't just a prophecy. It's an invitation. So here's what I want you to do. If your heart longs for that city, type, "I belong" in the comments. It's not just a declaration, it's a decision. And before you go, like this video, subscribe to this channel and share this story with someone who needs to know. There's a place being prepared. And it's more beautiful, more healing, more holy than anything this earth could ever offer. Our final reflection, living for the kingdom that is coming. What do you do when you've seen a glimpse of forever? How do you return to your everyday life after walking through the golden streets of the New Jerusalem in your mind? After hearing the echo of a city where tears are no more and light never fades? You don't go back the same. The vision of the new heaven and new earth isn't just something to admire. It's a call to action, a challenge to realign, a reminder that this present world is not your final address. Right now, you and I live in the in-between, between Eden and eternity, between what has been broken and what will be restored, between the dust of earth and the glory of heaven. But here's the good news. You don't have to wait for the trumpet to sound to start living like a citizen of the kingdom. So what does that mean for you? It means living with hope when the world around you trembles with fear. It means choosing truth in a culture built on shifting sand. It means loving boldly, forgiving quickly, serving faithfully, because you know your reward isn't down here, it's coming with the King. It means carrying the atmosphere of heaven wherever you go. You are a temple in motion, a carrier of glory, a representative of the coming reign of Christ. They will be His people, and God Himself will be with them and be their God. Revelation 21 verse 3. Heaven is not just a destination. It's a transformation. And it begins now. Final challenge. If you've been stirred by this vision, don't let it fade. Write this in the comments. I will live for the kingdom to come. Declare it. Share it. Let the world know your hope isn't in systems, leaders, money, or popularity. Your hope is in the Lamb who reigns. And before you leave this moment, click the like button to let others know this message mattered. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss more deep, Bible-based stories like this. Share this video with someone whose faith needs a reminder of what's coming. Thank you for journeying with me through these visions of glory. May the God who is preparing the new heaven and the new earth prepare your heart as well. May you walk with hope, live with courage, and look forward to that day with joy. Just a quick one before we go. Closer than we think. Sometimes when we hear about the new heaven and the new earth, it feels like a distant dream. a far-off promise reserved for a someday we may never see. But what if it's closer than we think? What if every ache in your heart for something more, every moment when this world fails you, is a quiet whisper that eternity is calling? That deep down your soul already knows, this is not all there is. You were made for a world where righteousness reigns, where peace is not just a prayer but the air we breathe, where the King walks among his people, not in parables or visions but in person. So no, the story does not end with fire or judgment or loss. It ends with rebuilding, with restoration, with a city whose builder is God himself. And more than anything, it ends with God dwelling with man again face to face. Until then, keep your eyes lifted. Keep your heart steady. Live now as a citizen of the world to come. Because the next chapter of this story has already been written in heaven. Until next time, stay ready. The kingdom is near.